Hello, thank you for joining me on another episode of Welcome to My World. Right guys, this video is a good one in my opinion. It's the build of the frog's new enclosure, how we set it up from start to finish. We love it and hopefully you will too. So this video is long enough, so let's get into the video. Right, so I'm going to bring you into my animal room. I'm not sure if you've been in here, but I'm sure I'll do a tour at some point, another tour. But basically this is the enclosure that the frogs are in, and yes, I know it's not big enough, but they are now fully grown and I'm going to put them in their new enclosure. But before I do that, I need to bring it upstairs, and obviously I need to set it up so that it's all ready for them to go in, which is probably going to take a while, so they'll be in this one for a little while. And this is their new tank. Can you believe it? Look at that little one to that big one. We reckon we were measuring and we reckon 6 of these will fit into here. Like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. The width of this one is literally one of them doors, so it's just, I'm so happy that I've finally got the upgrade that they need and deserve. Like I said, I haven't been able to afford to do it before now, and it's been Christmas and I got some Christmas money and bits, so I've been I got this tank on Facebook Marketplace second hand. It is literally fantastic. It needs a little bit of a clean down the bottom, and that will be about it. But yeah, I'm really sorry you can't see with the light so good, but I will come back maybe later. Once I start setting it up, I'm going to record all the bits that we do to it, and eventually, I'm not sure how long it will take, we will be moving our white tree frogs from here to their new big house. I'm so excited, I can't wait. Right guys, it's a few days later and I've been ordering some bits to go in the tank, so I'm going to open these and I'm going to show you what we have been ordering. It's like Christmas has come early. We've got all these boxes here, we've got these boxes, and we've got this box. From in this to this. Right, so I've opened all my packages and I'm going to show you quickly what is in them. First, I've got this lovely box of slate that Sam's dad, Mark, gave us. Look at these really nice patterns on some of these slates. I want to do like maybe the waterfall, or want to have it on the floor. We're not sure. There's options. Possibilities are endless. Right, so this is me lava rock.
So that's going to go under your substrate, under the platform we make for it, and that'll just be your filter media.
Okay, so this is me canopy for the top. So this one holds, is it 2 UVB and 1 heat bulb? Well, that's what we're going to have in it.
Yeah,
you can have what you want,
bulbs,
I guess.
but you choose what you want.
That's what we're going to have, yeah, 2 UVB and 1 heat. Right, so over here we've got the expanding foam, which we've got this one. This one's animal safe, isn't it, apparently?
Yeah, so this is the stuff you'd use for ponds and stuff, so it's landscaping for ponds, waterfalls, plant safe, fish safe, all that kind of thing. Yeah. That's your filter. Right,
so that's going to go in the water part, because we're planning to have a water part and a land part. Obviously these frogs can't swim that well, but yeah, still got to give them a little pond area. Right, then these are our bulbs.
So we've got the heat lamp.
Yeah.
25 watt, and then we've got 2 UVB fluorescent bulbs.
Yeah, I'll set that canopy up in a minute actually, so we can see and have some light into the tank while we're doing it.
Plantation soil.
Yeah.
3 blocks.
This just expands.
And
like substrate
we got the tropical terrarium, same kind of thing, just a slightly different mix. 3 blocks of it again.
Yeah. And then we've got the, where's the moss that we had? Oh yeah.
Here.
It's very small. I thought it was bigger than that, but never mind.
We'll see how much it does when it expands.
Yeah, and then that's our Aquamate aquarium sealant, which we're going to use to, because it's a new tank to us, but not a new tank, we always seal our tanks. We've learned our lesson by not sealing them, so again, because we're going to have water in the bottom, we're going to just use this Aquaflex. This is what we use.
Yeah, just doubly make sure that it's watertight.
Yeah, it is called Everflex, and that Aquamate, this one's really good. We've sealed a few tanks with that, and touch wood, had no problems.
And it's the egg crate that we're going to use to build your land portion, and then we'll cover that in some weed barrier or mesh screening or something, which we haven't yet found.
Yeah, we need to go to B&Q and get some weed barrier.
And the heat mat.
Yeah, heat mat. I've already got one on their tank as well, which we'll see if we need both.
And that will be running on a thermostat. It will just be using the thermostat from that tank because it's already good enough to handle that mat. Yeah,
we need always a thermostat. I'm still so excited to get them gone from this to this big tank. It's they're long overdue for an upgrade, bless them. Right, and then this is for decoration basically.
You've got some seed pods and unusual sticks and things.
Banana pods or something. I can't remember what they're called, but they are really cool. I am going to be doing this with an ecosystem, so I'm going to be putting my isopods and springtails in here also, and live plants. It's going to be fabulous. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us, but it's going to be fun. So we're going to start by cleaning out the terrarium that we're making a paludarium. They've all got different names: vivarium, terrarium, paludarium. So they're going to start by cleaning out the tank. We're going to break up the dirt, vac it out, clean it, and then we're going to put some IPA in just to kill everything at the end, and that evaporates nicely. So let's get on with that. Alright, so first we're going to move the frogs out of this room because we're cleaning and going to be silicone and eventually expanding foam. So very delicate little frogs, so hence when we hold them we have gloves, and if I do touch them without a glove, just for a few seconds, just quickly moving them, I always make sure I've washed my hands before I come into the animal room to feed them, because sometimes when I feed them they jump on me. So they're going to live in my craft room for a little while. That'll be fun for them. New scenery. And then they'll have their grand reveal. Maybe I'll get some new white trees as well, we'll see. So I'm going to set up the canopy so we've got some light, because it's quite a dark room, the animal room, so...
We are only going to have one of the 3 bulbs in there though.
Yeah.
We've got 2 UVs, one of them's currently in the current frog setup.
Yeah.
And then the heat lamp, we don't really want that while we're working on it.
No, they're too hot.
If I stick that in the middle one, that's probably as close as we'll get.
Fabulous. So we're going to hoover it out and then go from there. Right, it's all hoovered out as much as we can get out. I guess we should put some water and kind of
give it a scrub.
Give it a scrub, yeah. Let's go and get some cleaning bits and back to time lapse. Right, so it has all been cleaned and I just rub an IPA on now just to so it'll all evaporate, just to finish off the clean. And beautiful. Hopefully the frogs are gonna love this new tank. Right, so now it's all clean, we're gonna silicone inside because, like I said, we don't necessarily trust second-hand tanks to be fully sealed, because we've learned our lesson last time we had we've had a few leaks, let's just say that. And this silicone stuff is what we just showed you, the Aquamate. Right, I'm going to let Sam do it because he don't get to play with his new...
I asked if you wanted to do it.
I don't want to.
I think there's still a bit of a bit of
blockage.
Stuff in the tube that's blocking it, it doesn't like it. We'll just keep doing it in little sections and smooth it out.
Right, so as you can see, Sam's going
excessive
all the
amounts
way.
of silicone.
Always more is better. Up the sides, up the back, and then he's done the same up here, up to the door on both sides. So now it's just going to smooth it all out, and yeah, I guess we'll do a water test tomorrow or later. Right, we're done. Doesn't look very pretty, but it doesn't matter as long as it does the job. You're not going to see any of this under the water, and yeah, we've got to wait now for it to dry. So once it's dry, either today or tomorrow, we're just trying to look how long it takes to dry, and then we'll be back to do the expanding foam across the back wall. Right, so it's fill up time. So the silicon's had
about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, it's had a long time, so hopefully it's all gone off. Like I said, the tank should be sealed anyway, but we always just additionally seal them because you just never know.
We fill it up to somewhere around here, we can then mark it, leave it a few hours, and we'll empty it out before we go to bed.
Yeah, definitely. Right, okay, so yeah, so this bucket fills to 11 litres, just so I know how much water to get when we fill it up ourselves. Because obviously I won't use
bottled water for the frogs.
I don't use tap water.
Now, also, when we find out how strong this table is.
Do you know, I was just literally thinking, I hope this table's strong. Right, fingers crossed for no leaks. So this will be 44 litres?
Yep.
Did you just fart and scare yourself? What are you doing in here, little cheeky? You being a little cheeky? You must be nosy what we're doing, ain't ya? Hey? Are you always being nosy what we're doing? Oh, good girl. Here comes the last bucket of water, we reckon.
Yeah.
So if it takes this, it'll be 55. Hopefully we don't have any leaks, and also hopefully the table doesn't give way underneath. That's a good point actually, we've got to keep it on this table, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. If it takes this, it'll be alright, because there's no way you're loading it up with that much when the frogs are actually in there.
No.
There'll be soil and rocks and all sorts in there.
Yeah, just like the most, so love it.
We need to get a pen and mark a line.
Yeah, get a board marker. Right, do you want to do the honours?
Can do.
That's not permanent, is it?
No whiteboard marker. Also, your whiteboard marker's not making much of a line.
What are you writing? Hi. Hi. Oh, smiley face, bloody hell. Do you know what? Sam only ever does smiley faces. We've been together for about 17 years and he's never put me a kiss in a card or anything. Bloody hell.
Smiley faces.
Bloody hell. Anyway, we'll leave that now and we'll come back later, either tonight or in the morning, see how we feel, if we can be bothered to empty this. And hopefully it doesn't empty itself. Or the table break. This is not a permanent table, this is my one that I brought to do up, but I haven't got round to finishing it off, so I'm hoping it survives the weight of this tank. Right guys, we're entering the animal room.
Not moved at all.
That's fantastic. Nothing.
Alright, I'll get it emptied out and then it can dry out overnight.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we can put expanding foam on the back. Right guys, we're back. It's a few days later again and we are back setting up the tank. Let me show you what we are up to. So we've got the tank on the floor because we're going to start now, well, Sam is going to be setting out my land area in the tank. So you've seen us do a water test and everything, so it's all watertight and resealed. So now we're going to build the land area and work out where we want the water. I think I'm going to have shrimp or tiny fish at the front of this tank. I'm really undecided, but Sam's just cut this egg crate to size there, and I think that's what we're going to have as our land, aren't we?
Yeah, so now you just need to decide the height of it. So this pump's going to go over here.
Yeah.
And I'll get all meshed in so that fish and stuff can't get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And we'll put a little bit of filter sponge under it so it doesn't get blocked too easy.
Nice.
Then this pipe will connect up to the connector. It's going to run through under here through all the lava rock and come out somewhere up here. But the next thing we need to know is how high do you want this? How far is it coming out? And is there any cutout bits in it?
Right. So I think I'd like that as a full land piece.
Okay. How high? Because how high this is, your water level has to be below it.
Yeah.
So it depends how much room you want for fish, shrimp, whatever you're planning on putting in.
Maybe a bit higher because I don't want. Maybe to the top of that silicone where we.
You want it that high, yeah? Remember, you're going to have land and soil on top of this.
I mean, it's taking away space from the frogs.
No.
Well, considering they've got
it depends
the space
how
of
high
that
you
one
want it to
egg
go.
plate.
Like, when we know, for example, if that's going there, and say you want 3 inches of soil, then we know your expanding foam background doesn't need to come any lower than that kind of thing.
Right, I see what you're saying.
And we also know that if this is going this high, then we need something that's going to be slightly higher than it this side, because we need to be able to stop the mud falling in the water.
Seems like my little frogs will drown in that high. We are going to be putting rocks and
There is
bits
going
and
to be stuff in the bottom though, so the bottom will be all sand, there'll be rocks and stuff in there.
Yeah, so that then if they do come in, fall in or jump in that's too deep, they've always got something to grab onto to pull out.
That they can stick to the wall if they really want and just walk up the wall.
I don't think if they're drowning they'll be like, oh, let's suck up the wall, would they?
Well, they stick to the wall all the time anyway. It's just natural for them.
I'm just hoping we don't do this enclosure and then drown the poor little frogs.
So you want this land to the top of the silicone?
I don't know, that's a bit high, isn't it?
An inch below it or so? About there?
Maybe below the door. Yeah, because I want the fish or the shrimp or whatever I'm going to put in to have like a nice, decent sized body of water. It's not going to be big, so I'm going to have either minimal amounts of small fish in there, but maybe some tetras or...
Okay, so do you want to go about that high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a bit below, yeah, like you said, a bit below the door frame, and then it can come up.
About 1.5 inches to 2 inches below the top of the silicone.
Yeah.
So if we cut the plastic about there-ish somewhere, then you've got an overlap to stop the soil falling in, but we can hide it with rocks and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's nice. Right, so I've been tasked with cutting this egg crate along this line so that it separates. So this will be the bit for the land. This is really tough to cut. Sam's gone to get some better cutters because these are a bit shit really. Excuse my French. Okay, I put them on the right one. That was on the wrong one, don't tell Sam. Look, we went on the line above. Aye, aye, aye. I'll just cut all these edges off now to neaten it up. Sam's just cutting off the edge of one of these completely so it fits a bit better.
Yeah, just one square width because 2 of these panels together is the width of the tank, but we need it to fit in between the glass panels, so we've got to account for them by chopping a bit more off.
When we do the supports, they'll sit underneath the crate, so they won't like sit on the edges.
That fits. So, why did we have this? This was like 1 inch or 2 below the glass, wasn't it?
As long as it's roughly, yeah. I'm still trimming, guys. It's taking ages.
So it's going to be 2 more, but they're going to be trimmed slightly differently.
When you talk to yourself, you get better answers, don't you?
Sometimes, depends what I'm talking about.
I always get the right answers I need. Right, we're all cut. Sam is now building a little structure for our land. Da, 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 da.
Oh, I was going to get you to start the cable tying and I was going to build the enclosure for the pump.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to be constructing this into the land area, and Sam's going to build a little one with all the bits we've got left over.
So the way this is going to work is you're going to have 4 pieces, try and space them out evenly if you can, like count the holes or something.
Yeah, do it on the top of that, yeah.
This will go on top.
Yeah, I could build it upside down there.
Yeah, if you want.
Make it easier than balancing.
Okay, so that goes on top. It's just important that you have
the edge on the edge.
The edge on the edge, and same with the back piece. The edge on the edge, so that this is sitting on top of it, so it transfers the weight to it.
Yeah, okay.
The front one goes last. Once you've got this and you've got these in, then you know exactly what the height is. So then you can attach that. These little bits might poke through, kind of thing, and just help hold everything in place. If they don't and they get in the way, just cut them off.
Yeah, I'm basically building a box.
Yeah, so attach everything together as much as you can. Well, not as much as you can, but like connect this to that, that to these to that, these to this to that. Try and connect all the corners, and it'll just make it nice and strong.
We're making progress. We've half built our cage. Looks like Sam's in the cage.
Oh, looks like you are from here.
Yeah, we've built this. We've just got to put the front bit on now. These cable ties are very time consuming. And we've still got 2 middle supports to put in yet. And then Sam's built his little...
Yeah, that's just going to be for the filter
one.
So that will go, when the pipe work's all set up, that will just go over there.
Yeah.
And we'll work the cable through and stuff and lock it all in.
Fabulous. We're going to continue and then we'll come back and show you when we've made more progress. Right, so we're back and the base is basically done. How are we going to do it? It's going to look like that, and then it's going to have a piece up the front as we showed you earlier to stop the land area bits falling into the water area. So that is finished. We're happy with that. And then also we're going to cover this in weed barrier to stop the mud falling into the water, because the base all under this will be water and rocks, but you'll see that later. We've got our bubble wrap to lay the tank on just in case, and let's foam. Before we start, I've got some cork bark and a big lovely piece of wood that you'll see once it goes in the tank, and some plant pots, because we're going to lay out where we want the stuff, take a picture, and then we're going to get to expanding foam. Right, hopefully it'll fit now. Right, so I did time lapse, hopefully you could see what we were doing, but this is the structure that I'm going to have as my back wall. So I didn't show you all my new bits that I got, which was the cork bark and this beautiful big log, which I absolutely love, but it was too big, so Sam's just cut it down as you saw. And now we took a picture of this so we know what it looks like. We're going to expand in foam and then put it all back in on top. Right, so this is for the ponds, so it should be safe for my little froggies once it's all cured, obviously.
Okay, that's locked in place, and now you can use the trigger.
Do I have to turn it this way?
Yeah. Go closer, go closer. Not so fast. Not so fast.
Not so fast?
Yeah, nowhere near so fast.
You're going too fast?
Way too fast.
I know what I'm doing.
You're going to waste all your foam. That's more like it. That's it. You was firing that from like 2 foot away. That was funny though.
Yeah.
The more vertical you can keep the can, the more foam you'll get out of it.
That's not bad.
It's looking good. Doesn't matter. It's going to look like expanding foam, whatever you're doing.
Right, so I'm upside down again, I apologise. But this again is the layout. Sam's literally just run a piece of hose. This is the piece of hose that's going to attach to the filter in the water area under the crate. We want to make our waterfall, so that's going to come out here. It's going to trickle down that way because, like I said, I'm upside down. And then we've got some slate that Sam's dad gave us, and we found some in our garden that we're going to have that we're going to use as the waterfall. So now we're going to go on to our second can of expanding foam, and we're going to go over the pots because, let's be honest, that doesn't look pretty with the writing on them. We're going to expand in foam the pipe and the piece of slate for the waterfall. Right guys, I don't know if you can see because the doors are closed, but we've got the expanding foam on the back, which we're just waiting for it to dry. We've got our cork bark, we've got our big centerpiece, which is this big log, and over here we've built a waterfall with the slate that we had. So I absolutely love it. So once this is all dry, it can be lifted up and we can continue scaping our frog tank. Right guys, we're back. It's the next day again now.
It's raining.
It's raining. It sounds lovely. I love the sound of rain. It's gonna sound like rain in here as well when we have finished. Right, so this is the new stand we've got. We were going to do this one up to Sal, but now it's going to be the tank stand because it looks nice and sturdy. Definitely sturdier.
It sits a bit lower as well,
yeah,
which is nice if we've been able to get to everything in the terrarium.
Yeah, that's we think is going to be nice and secure and not collapse or break. And this is the finished product, the right way up, not upside down or to the side how we were recording, but it was how we could fit it in. What's the plan, Samwell?
So first thing we've got to do today is cut all of this back.
The memory foam.
The expanding foam. Then we need to smear some silicone on it wearing gloves and put all the cocoa fibre stuff on it.
Yeah, so that's not exposed anymore.
So when we put the silicone on to cover up these bits, we're going to seal down each of these edges on each side, and we're also going to seal the cracks in the waterfall so we don't get too much water going between the individual slate pieces. Which Bosch professional are you?
Right.
Or are you having one in each hand?
Right, we're done. We finished carving, and that is the end product. Absolutely love it. We've shook all the shiny stuff off the expanding foam, and I just absolutely love it. So now I've got to clean up all this mess that we've made, and then I'll be back with some silicone. So next step is to cover all this area with silicone so that it's sticky, and then we can stick some sphagnum moss that we got on, some dried, because obviously it won't stick if it's wet. And we've got this brick that we're going to crumble up to stick over the silicone as well. Right, so we're going to take one of these bricks, hopefully it's enough. If not, we've got more. I always like to buy more just so we don't run out. So this one we're going to have to crumble somehow.
Yeah,
and
that's going to be fun. It's quite solid.
Yeah, because normally you wet them, don't you, and then they expand. Is it crumbling?
Yeah, it'll crumble.
Right, okay, so we'll do that. And then I'll get the sphagnum moss one, do the same. Right, so my sphagnum moss is coming along quite nicely. I'm quite happy with how it's looking. I need to break it up a little bit more, but unfortunately the brick that Sam was doing is a bit too much. But we just remembered in the cupboard we have the a magic bullet that I never use. We're going to hope that it breaks down the...
Well, there's a coffee grinder, it should break it down.
The brick, because it's too much. You may have an bullet for your shakes. We have one for our animals.
Yeah, that's better. It's
that's
not
pretty
all
good.
of it,
Yeah, just tip it back in there and then add bits to it. How fine did it go?
There's still lumps in it, but it's
That's
better.
fine, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Right, so we're back at the tank and Sam's going to do some silicone in and then we're going to stick on the moss and the cocoa fibre brick. We've only put a little bit in here just so it's easier to work with.
Okay, you want to do that bit as a first
That'll be
bit?
enough to rub in? Yeah.
Should be plenty.
Yeah, I don't mind some of this showing through. I'm not like opposed to a bit of the grab. It's like a strong vinegar kind of smell.
Yeah, silicone is quite a strong smell.
I'm not sure if you can see, it's a bit hard to see through the glass, and like I said, because the way we've got the tank, it's hard to kind of get in with the camera and record at the same time. You're in the way of the other one doing some work, so really only one of us is in the tank at the time. But that looks nice. Beautiful. I've got little tubs and we can catch a bit of it back.
Yeah, saves them to break up quite as often as well.
How much are we putting on?
How much you think? That's pretty good.
Try and put a bit of moss.
Yeah, it's coming out nicely.
It really literally like blends into the...
It'll all go darker when it gets damp as well, and it'll also swell up a bit, giving it even more texture.
I've put some of the dried sphagnum moss in here. It's not as prominently noticeable as I thought it would be, but it does kind of blend into the cork bark, so that's not too bad. Right, so we're going to swap now. Sam's going to do some more, maybe some spag moss, maybe some cocoa fibre. We'll see how he gets on. Right, we're very nearly done, apart from the left side where Sam's head is, because we're waiting for some bits for the waterfall to come, which should be here later. So Sam is just literally rerouting the wire pipe through down through the egg crate so that it can come out to be attached to our filter in this bottom right hand corner of the tank. As we put the land crate in, it made it hard to take out, didn't it? We needed to put the big tree log in and work around it, so unfortunately we've had to leave the crate in and now it's kind of stuck, isn't it? So we're having to work around it, which is a bit awkward, shall we say. Right, I'm going to leave Sam to that and we'll come back and show you again once it is threaded through. Again, my apologies, it's hard to do filming on this tank where it's positioned, but it's too heavy to keep moving, so I will record what I can. Right, so this, just to show you a bit closer, I'm not sure if you can see too well. Let's see if we can put a light on. So obviously we've got cork bark here in between with just where we put some silicone over the expanding foam. We've put the mosses and the brick just to cover it. I really absolutely love it. I do wish it was a little bit more green, so I think I'm going to get some more, maybe some live mosses to put onto these, like with some strings, attach them on here. I'm going to have, I don't know about live, but I'm going to have some more of this dried moss down here and round the waterfall area. And obviously you've got to remember it's going to be green from the plants that I'm going to have.
Yeah,
if I have one in every here, I've got like 5 pots, so that's going to be quite a lot of green, and maybe I'll even have some in the water. But yeah, Sam's routed the wire down, so it starts here, but Sam's going to cut that, and we've got a little connector thing coming so that we can sit it across here. We're going to have like a spray bar, so it's going to waterfall down like that. It's going to look fabulous. And then he's routed it down here, because obviously we put the wire in before we expanded and foamed, and now it's out down here waiting for our pump, well, filter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we're getting there. Like I said, I'm really sorry this video is long, but we're just enjoying doing it, taking our time, getting to it as we get to it, and just filming bits of the process along the way. Hopefully you're enjoying our video, and the end result hopefully is fabulous. I know this is a long video, so thank you for sticking around if you are still here. As you probably know, when we do videos, we kind of like to just kind of do it as a vloggy style. We'll take you with us if we go to buy, but we do love our animals and we try the best to give them the best homes that we can. Videos are sometimes informational, but more vloggy style in whatever we're doing really, be it build a tank, go shopping, or you know, anything really. So hopefully you stick around for that. I mean, animal room is absolute mess. I hate mess like this, it drives me crazy. But yeah, for now we're going to carry on with this build, see where it takes us. Sam's just knocking off now all the excess brick and bosses, if any of it comes off. Are we losing too much?
We're losing a little bit, but that's kind of expected.
Yeah, we want the loose bits off. Right, I've just put some silicone on this. I'm just trying to now put the moss around the waterfall area. And I've got a bit more silicone up here that I'm just filling in to cover. Before the silicone goes off, I need to get all this pressed in. Trying to push that all in so the excess will fall off, and squidge this moss into the silicone so it sticks, hopefully. I just need to finish off down here and up here, but I've got to leave, but I need to leave this bit, like I said, until the connectors come in a little while, so the waterfall pipe can be routed to the spray bar. But yeah, so for now I'm just gonna keep putting some mosses on, and again I'll show you when I'm done. I'm just filling all these lava rocks in the bath.
So instead of having like fluval filter media or bio media, this is 90% as good.
Yeah.
But 1/10 of the price, and for the amount of it that we need to fill the bottom of this tank, this is a much better way of doing it.
Sam has now ordered the knuckle bit
So
for the spray bar.
These.
So yeah.
So it came out of that pipe with one of these into another bit of pipe down into that, and then the spray bar's now hidden under this moss.
Well, let's hope it works.
Ooh.
Spray bar, look at that, it's cool. But yeah, we're going to cover this up because it's not very pretty. So Sam's just put some silicone on, and I'm going to cover it again with moss. Right, so next is the weed barrier. We're going to wrap this around this egg crate best we can, and again, I'll come back and show you when we're done because it's really hard to fit in to record. Right, so we're attempting to make the waterfall base now, so that we've got some plastic in here to catch the waterfall. So what we don't want is the waterfall to come down and go like drench the rest of the substrate. So we kind of want to contain it in this plastic area, and then it will drip off back into the water, won't it?
Yep, so once we get it laid out, we know what bit of the front section we need to cut out.
Yeah, so we've wrapped that base now, and we've wrapped this, but yeah, we've got to do a cutout on this once we work out how much plastic we're going to have to kind of direct to come down here. We'll see, hey?
Aye.
But, love it. So Sam's hooked the filter up to the tube, and we're going to now pop it in this bucket because we want to test where the actual waterfall comes down, so we don't know where it's going to fall to, which bit to section off with the plastic so we can get it to drop into the bottom. But here we go, let's do a little test, shall we?
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to dump this in here and it should start pumping water.
Let's see.
Woo! Okay, that's not going down the waterfall at all. We need to put some moss and stuff in place.
Right, so trial and error, so it was way too fast. Well, it's not that fast, it was just because it was free flowing. But I think we need to put some under it so it drips into it, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. So it drips onto it and then it will flow slower. Yeah, we've done a lot this weekend, so we're going to call it quits, and I'll see you in a few. Right, so we're days later, however long after it is. You saw what we were doing. So again, this is where we're up to. We put all the moss, it's had a nice period of time to dry and all set into the silicone. Nothing seems to have fell off, although our waterfall doesn't actually, the pipe is, when it runs off the rock. So we've got some sticks and bits down here that we're going to adjust. We're going to stick on here, which Sam's going to do now with the glue gun. And also, yes, we brought some new mesh because this stuff that we put on says it was
water permeable.
Yes, but the water does not go through. It sits on the top. So now we're going to have to take all this off and put the new stuff on. So I won't record doing that, but I'm not going to record that. So once this is all replaced, I will show you the new stuff on there. Right, so we've glued on the bits on here. We've got this twig and these loggy bits. Obviously that don't look very attractive with the hot glue gun, but we will cover that with some moss and bits. We're going to do a water test now to see if the waterfall runs where we want it to run. Right, we're hooking up, we're plugging in, and yeah, you need to help. Let's see.
Still out the front a little bit on that there.
Some of it's on. Just maybe here to make it go back a bit. Here. We don't really want it to go this way, something's coming out here.
Yeah.
Putting a bit more glue to block some of the gaps, and then we'll try the water again. Take number 2, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's better.
Still, I'd like it to come back a bit, you know, like not out.
Yeah, we might have to put another piece underneath.
Yeah, and it's still coming out
To that side
here a bit as well, which I don't want. Test number 3. It's 3 or 4.
Probably 4. I think we can work with that.
Yeah, I don't have to all be.
Because we can always sort like the under gravel bit to go a little bit further to the right near the back.
So we've swapped over the mesh so the water runs through this one now. I've got a little hole down here, if you can see, for the pipe to come through for the filter, which is just here. And this, again, we need to make that look prettier later down the line. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to fill all under here with the lava rock and then put this back on, and we'll go from there. We have now got the front bit on, which is going to be the barrier for the rocks so they don't fall in. So I've zip tied along here, and there's one lower row there, and so I'm just going to pull it all nice and taut now, and then we can make the waterfall, I guess. The next stage is we'll put some sand in the bottom of the water area, and we've glued the little housing for the pump onto the glass here, and then this lid bit just flaps up if we need to access the pump. And now we need to figure out what we want in the water, and we need to now create our waterfall base and put the plastic sheeting in. So we've got a bucket here with the brick, so we're going to put some of this at the bottom under the waterfall to shape the area we want the water to run off. So let's do that. Right, so I'm not sure if you can see, but Sam is moulding the cocoa fibre brick so that this is where the water will run off. This is going under the bit of plastic that we're going to use.
Then we need to get the plastic in and glue it to the rock and shape it and cut it.
Right, so that's the cocoa fibre brick, if you can see. It's kind of got a wall up so that the plastic can sit on the top. Right, so the plastic area is in and glued to the back rock and built up with the brick, just like that. So we've got a little divot in the middle, and now I'm going to add some more slaty rocky bits to this area so it doesn't look like plastic. So we are now making up some compost, like a compost mixture for the bottom of the tank for a substrate. I'm just dividing the cocoa fibre brick in 2 buckets, and we're going to add some other bits. So this soil will be good for the isopods and the springtails, which we're going to be having in this frog tank. I'm making the substrate for the, obviously for the frogs, but for the isopods and the springtails to go in here and live happily ever after. So we're going to show you some of the bits that we're going to make up, but we haven't got all the bits, but we're just using what we've got for now. So we've got the cocoa fibre brick, we've got this strudel stratum as we call it, which is fluval stratum. Next, we're going to put some sand. We'll do 1 in each for now, that'll be enough. We're going to also use some calcium. Thank you. And we're going to put some of the leaves. I've got another tub of leaves, but these are ones we collected. We actually collect and dry our own leaves because the price is ridiculous. Okay, and lastly we're going to put a bit of coal. And that is our substrate. Sometimes we put wood chips, and sometimes we put other bits in as well, but this is what we've got, so this is what we're using for our substrate. Taking into account the isopods and the springtails as well. Put eggshells in as well, but for now we've got the calcium carbonate, so that should be fine. Obviously this is just what we use, some of the bits that we use. Like I said, we're missing some bits, but like I said, please do your research on what you need to use for your substrates for isopods, springtails, frogs. Yeah, please do your research, don't just copy what I'm saying, or have a little do your research and see what a few people are saying. Just before we put the substrate in, I just wanted to show you the little waterfall that we made up from the slate. We had to crack a bit of it up because it was too big, so it's in smaller pieces now, but I think that looks really nice. So we've got the back here, again we're going to cover this glue bit. We've got the back here where the water will fall down, and then it should fall down into here, and then it should drop off the front is the is the plan. But Sam's going to put the substrate in now, and we're getting there, guys. We're nearly done.
This should float to the surface.
Oh, these froggies are gonna love this. I will put some more leaf litter. Although we put leaf litter in the substrate, I will put like I will put more on the top. So this I think I showed you earlier in the video, but I got some pods and bits for the isopods and to hide. So they've got more little areas to hide from the froggies. Yeah, this is the substrate all in. And the little waterfall. I'm so excited. Right, so we've done a little bit more. So we've done a little background in the water area. And I've put a rock here. We've put a little stick here for the frogs to go on. And Sam's cable tied it on. It's not loose, it goes through here and right underneath it into this, so it's not just wrapped around itself. And I've got my little shrimp house, which is adorable. Hopefully they go in there and we can see them at the front of the tank. I was going to sit it up here. I don't know. Maybe the frogs will go up there though, so maybe not. I think I'm going to have it down here. And then we're going to fill the plant pots. And because when we get the plants, I'm going to try and get them from like an aqua. I'm going to try and get them from like a pet shop rather than, I'm definitely not going to get them from B&Q and place like that, because you don't know what they're grown in. At least if they get from like a pet shop, they should be
free, hopefully.
It's just really coming together, guys. It's really long. I do appreciate if you're still here at the minute. Absolutely love it. So we've got a little water area, little pump housing in there, waterfall. Beautiful. I've still got all this stuff to fit into the tank, and I don't know how it's all going to fit. I think it won't all fit. We're just going to have to fit what we can realistically. So I'm just putting some super glue at the back over the waterfall area where the hot glue gun was, because it's left like a white milky residue, which is not too pretty. So we're going to stick some spag moss on it to try and cover it up. Beautiful. There you go. You'll never know there was glue there at all. Fabulous. This is going to be a little bowl where I keep some worms so they can help themselves. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in or not, but for now I am. Right, so I've got some leaf litter in this, quite a lot of leaf litter in this right area here, quite deep, because I want to put all these bits here in this corner, because this is where I'd like the isopods to kind of hang out, go back to. I know they'll wander the tank, but ideally I want to put them in this corner to start off with, and put bits that they feel safe to hide under and stuff over here, because I don't really want the frogs to eat them all. Obviously the frogs will eat them if they catch them, but I'd like them to kind of have a little area. I've also got the pod here for them, and a pod here just so if they are out and about and they run in, hopefully the frogs won't be able to get them. Put these on for the little froggies as well. I'm not sure, they look a bit tack. Obviously I am going to put some I am going to be putting real plants into these ones, but so the tank will all grow in and hopefully look amazing. So let me place these and then I'll be back. Ta-da! What do you think? So are these supposed to be upside down so the isopods go underneath? I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll swap one to go the other way, because I'm really not sure how these ones are supposed to go. So that's kind of the little isopod area. So we've got the waterfall, we've got the isopod area down here, hi lady, and little pods here. Like I said, if they are out and about and need to hide. And then I've put these in for the frogs, which I'm not too sure, but I guess I can always take them out if I don't like them. They look a bit fake, but they might like going on them, so we'll see. Yeah, Sam's just going to go and get some water, so once he's back, I guess we can fill up. In fact, I'm going to fill these pots with the substrate mix, and then when Sam gets back, I guess it's time to put the water in. I also got these cheap hygrometers from Timo. I don't know if they'll be good, but I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom, and then I have actually got some digital ones that I brought, some proper ones. And also I found some almond leaves, because I think I'm going to have shrimp in the bottom of this and not fish, because there's not a big body of water in here. So I think I'm just going to have a selection of shrimp. I think that will look really pretty. Right, so I've cable tied this together. I've cable tied this into the backdrop, so everything down here now is nice and secure. Right, so next step is we're going to put the heat mat on this side, and we're going to get everything set up, lights, cameras, action. All our bottled water that we've got to go. We were going to get big bottles. I only ever use bottled water for the frogs, but they didn't have any big bottles, so Sam got lots and lots of crates of water, so that'll be fun filling up. But
60 litres.
Exactly. I think it was 55 when we filled it up, but obviously that had
no...
no...
the next one further down from this, if I didn't buy the extra pack, we would have been at 48 litres.
Right, because I don't think we'll put 55 in, because obviously we've got the sand now, the lava rock, yeah.
So really what we should do at some point is get like a turbo start or something to colonise it all with good bacteria.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get that ordered up.
Yeah, we can get that tomorrow, because I do plan to go to a fish shop tomorrow, because what did I want to get from the fish shop? I wanted to get plants, yeah, but I wanted to go to a pet shop rather than...
I don't know if you'll find them at just any old one. I think you're going to need reptile specific.
That one we went to the other time.
Going to have to go there, I think.
They had all the live plants. They had vampire crabs, everything. Watch out, because vampire crabs is on my agenda next. In the little tank that the frogs are in now is where my vampire crabs are going to go, but obviously this is priority at the moment. We've got all the little extra bits put in now. So I've got my cheap thermometer down here and my cheap thermometer up here, and then we've got our nice digital ones up here, which does the humidity and the temperature, and then I've put the other one down here which does the humidity and the temperature again. So we've got 2 for hygrometers, 2 cheap, 2 not. I've filled up the pots with some mud until obviously I get real plants. Put a couple of almond leaves down in here, because like I said, I do believe I'm going to get shrimp, because I feel this area is going to be way too small for fish. I'm taking it around the back now where all the magic happens. I've got the thermostat up here for the heat mat stuck to the wall. That's just the plug to plug the heat mat into the thermostat. Always have a thermostat. Like I said, please don't take what we're saying as Bible. We are no professionals. We've had animals for years off and on, different animals, so we have a basic knowledge of how to keep them alive and give them all the setups that they need. But like I said, we've done our own research to what we need to do, and please do the same. But I will say, the only one thing I will say for definite, please always use a thermostat, because that can be very dangerous. But yeah, we're going to fill this with water now, and then we are done. Alright guys, we've been filling up to here. We're using a little bowl so we don't get anything...
We're disturbing the sand not quite as much.
Yeah, but it's going through the mesh into the back area under all this mud. But we're going to do the honours and turn on the pump and see how the waterfall looks. And we're going to do the honours and plug in the pump and see how that looks. It's coming. There we go. Oh, it's dripping on me.
It's going to be a little bit splashing.
It's like the rain, it's very peaceful. Is that ending? I think the water's going down, isn't it? We need to carry on filling up. Right, so it's days later. We are finished setting up the tank escape wise. I've got all my little bits over here for the isopods. This is kind of going to be where the isopods hopefully reside. Brought some new cork bark today, and there's just a few bits that we brought to finish off the tank. So we've got plants to go in the holes. I've got some plants to go in this water, so once it is all set up again, I'll do you a final walkthrough. And these are said plants. Right, we are absolutely finished, and this is where I'm ending this video. Still got isopods to put in, and obviously the frogs. But maybe I'll show you that on a different video. I'll do a short or something. But this is all the plants that we chose that have gone in and been buried in all the little pot bits that we had into the background that we made space for. And this one down here, which you can't see, I'm really sad because you can see it on camera now, but the light is really purple and beautiful. I've got one down here and one back up here. I put one to the substrate and one to the pot area that we had. And like I said, this is my little isopod corner. I've got some cork bark for them to hide under. I've got some moss down here. We've got some leaf litter. I'm going to put some more leaf litter in. I've got all these bits that they can hide in. Then also got these little bits hidden here, there and everywhere that they can hide, and they probably hide in the plants, but I feel like this is hopefully going to be their new little soaking place. The waterfall leaves a little shallow bit in there so they can hopefully soak in there. And then down here is where I'm going to be putting some shrimp. This is not a very big area at all, so I'm not going to put any fish in here unless I find some really tiny ones. But I've got a plant there and a plant there. I've got a little shrimp house in there and some almond leaves for the shrimp to eat because they like them. Obviously I'll feed them food as well. But yeah, I absolutely love this tank. Me and Sam have done amazing, and yeah, absolutely love it. We even got some live moss today when we collected these plants, so we've wrapped it around this big branch, obviously leaving some spaces for the frogs to sit that's not on the moss. I've got under there. I just absolutely love it. It's amazing. Amazing. Right, so yeah, so that is everything into the tank by the frogs. Look at this beautiful tank. I'm obsessed. I love it. And now my little springtails and my isopods in. Got my little dairy cows, and they're all gone into little isopod corner. Right, I've also got a little space down here where I've left for foods. They've got a bit of cabbage in there at the minute. I've got some eggshell, and I'm going to shove in a gel pot in there so the springtails and the isopods can eat that. Obviously they'll eat the leaf litter as well. And they are in. There's two little froggies in the house which didn't come out, so that was easy. And the other one we put here. I will obviously do an update as we go along with the process of them moving homes and seeing how they get on.
I'll try them tonight when they're moving around at night.
I'll be doing you regular frog updates in their new enclosure. Right guys, I know this video was really long, but I just needed to show you that my frogs have mated. They literally went in last night and they have mated. This little froggy is croaking like a good one. Little bugger. And look. Everywhere is eggs. So now we've got to set up for them. So now we've been setting up for them. So we've literally here set up a tub. We've got a sponge filter, obviously, so nothing can be sucked in to the filter. We've got a heater in the bottom, and that bottle is just in there with some warm water in it, just to heat up the water quicker. But yeah, we are now the proud new owners of thousands of baby whites tree frogs. So please do get in touch if you'd like to purchase one from me. Thank you so much if you're still here. This was a long one. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to join me, well, whenever I upload my next one. Ciao! Bye!